Hello, my wellness travelers. This is Dragonwolf on our Wellness Wednesday. And today is about boundaries. The concept of boundaries. Now, we do have boundaries, of course, of our space. We lock our doors, we lock our car doors, we have four walls, that type of thing. So that is like a physical boundary. But your personal boundaries, I want to talk about that today. We don't do that enough. We too often allow things into our space, allow behaviors that we do and that others do in our space because of fear, oftentimes. Not because of love, it's because of fear. Love is setting boundaries. Love is making sure that you are taking care of you. You have to take care of you. And I don't mean this in an arrogant, selfish, narcissistic type of way. And I use narcissistic in the sense of any narcissistic trait where it is self-serving, where everybody else, whatever about you. This is all about me and I don't care about you. No. We're not talking about that. We're talking about loving yourself to know what is healthy for you, which would mean a boundary. What is that boundary? Meaning, I will go to bed at this certain time because I need to get up to go to work at this certain time or go to school at this certain time. Therefore, if I don't get this much sleep, whatever that number is, I know that the typical goal is 8. Some people might need 10. Whatever is healthy for you, get that. Go to bed. Do the proper nightly ritual. If you need wind down for a couple of hours in whatever fashion so that you can detox from the day, allow yourself that time. Don't keep pushing yourself. That's a boundary. Say no. I'm not going to do laundry at 11 o'clock at night. I'm not going to be doing the dishes. I'm not going to be preparing lunches at midnight. There has got to be boundaries that you create in your life so that you are able to have a balanced and healthy life. And that requires thought. That requires scheduling. That requires adherence to this choice, whatever that choice is. You have to say yes to you and yes for this boundary. If it is certain types of shows or music that does not resonate with you, set the boundary of, I will not watch this. I will not listen to this. Set the boundary. If everyone's going out to dinner and you don't have the financial means, set the boundary and say no. Or say, I can only go out to dinner once a month because I have to save up for it. Then set that boundary. Set the boundary of how you deal with the world and how they deal with you. Don't you treat others poorly. So set the boundary with yourself. If you have a tendency to do certain things in certain situations, get aware of yourself and say no. I know when I deal with this person, I have a tendency to do this type of behavior, and I don't like that. So from now on, I'm going to learn why I do that and how to stop. I want to treat them in a better fashion, regardless of who they are and how they're treating me. That boundary starts with you. So set that boundary. Say no, I'm not going to get agitated anymore by them. Figure out how. Now this also would require looking at some of your triggers possibly, some of your wounds and fears. So setting a boundary sometimes is something where you consciously say, I will stop this behavior with this person or in this situation, but it may require some work. It may not be as simple as setting a new bedtime, but that might even require a lot of work for certain people. Because there might be a reason why you keep blowing through your bedtime. You just keep staying up for whatever reason. You keep forcing other things upon yourself. So setting a boundary may require a great deal of healing work. But this is also something for you to look at within yourself. So this will also be healing work, prayer, letting your spirit guide you, letting your spirit tell you. Because if you're ill at ease, that means this is not okay, whatever that is. If it does not resonate with you, if you don't feel peaceful about something, that is your red flag to say, hey, hold on, wait, let's look at this. So look at it. But also set a boundary on how people speak to you and deal with you. Oftentimes, we allow people to run roughshod over us. We allow people to get away with behaviors oftentimes for fear purposes. Oftentimes because we have allowed it for whatever reason, because maybe we didn't know any better. Maybe we were brought up in a household that allowed these behaviors, and it's been allowed, so you didn't know, it didn't ever feel good, but you didn't realize that this was not it. This was not okay. This wasn't healthy. And you went out into the world after you left your growing up years with a family or guardians or whatever that you grew up with. You got out into the world, and those behaviors continued. You kept allowing those behaviors in your life because you didn't know any better. And they seemed normal. Never felt good, but you justified it because that's what you grew up with, and maybe this is how people are, maybe this is how this type of situation is. But look at those things. Set those boundaries. Learn how to say no. Learn how to stop that behavior. This little video is not going to be able to give you all of those answers. There's an awful lot of work you're going to have to do in researching, because you allowing something that is unhealthy in your life and you have not set that boundary to stop that or prevent it in some form or fashion, if it's preventable. If you work for somebody who is a very abusive, harmful person, a boundary still has to be made. But what is it exactly in that situation? Is it get a new job? Is it get into a different department where you're not under that person? Is it to have a conversation with that person and tell them no? Is it going to your human resources and saying something about this person? Is it you changing the way you feel about how it affects you? Is it you figuring out maybe this is a trigger for you from some past wound? There is something to be done with how someone treats you. There is. And it starts with you. It starts with you figuring out what's right, what's healthy, setting a boundary with yourself, setting a boundary in your world. And that's what today is about. My cat is eating, so if you hear her chomping, she set a boundary of my tummy is hungry and I need to eat something. So right now, this conversation is about boundaries. Review them. It starts with you. We oftentimes think it's outside of us. No, it's with us. What are we going to allow and what are we not going to allow? If we're going to allow things, then we need to know why we're allowing them, and they have to be healthy. If they are not healthy, then you need to review that. Even if you're allowing it, review it. Why are you allowing something that's unhealthy in your life? There's a reason. We're not going to fix ourselves overnight. We're not going to fix our lives overnight. And there's always going to be a new challenge. Even when you fix one thing, even when you fix 20 things, even when you fix 100 things, there's always going to be something new. That's what this world's about. That's what this life is about. Always ever growing and evolving. That's the point. So we always want the pain to stop. It may stop with this one thing. You might fix that one thing. But then there's a new one that shows up and you're like, oh my goodness, I only had like a week apiece and now here we are. But that's the point. So setting boundaries is going to help you on your journey towards a healthier you. But you have to start with you. And you need to start today. Start today. You may already be somebody who has set some boundaries. But there's always time and need to review you. Your life is ever moving forward. There's always new challenges, which means that there's always a good opportunity to review where you are. Setting up new boundaries. My phone's shaking because my cat's playing with the stand, so she's definitely probably wanting my attention. So she's setting a boundary saying, Mama, it's time for you to play with me. So I'm going to take that as my cue for this Wellness Wednesday to say, I love you. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button and the notification bell. Please visit me at my website. Oh, and here she is. Here's my little baby. Here she is. She said it's now time. Visit me at my website at KathyShannonDesign.com, Instagram at KathyShannonDesign, and I look forward to working with you in the future. I look forward to you being a part of my life as I am with you. I love you, and have a great day.